Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the CPA-fol podcast. It feels like it's been a long time. How about you, Brickademy? How's it feeling?
4 weeks? Has it been 4 weeks?
It feels like forever, but there's been a lot that's been going on. I know many of my viewers hopefully know by this point that I did get married a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks actually to be exact. So that was probably the main reason for taking a little bit of a break from our normal routine, away from Brickademy and, talking about Lego ideas, talking about Bricklink Designer Program. But today we're back to virtually all Bricklink Designer Program. We'll have a little bit of a haul. We'll talk about maybe some recent purchases. I know depending on how far, whatever we want to get into, there's a lot of Lego discounts out there right now. And I don't know if you're aware of, are you aware of all the discounts that are going on out there?
I am, and I've been looking at Lego every day, trying to see what I can afford, where I can squeeze some more points onto my account here and there.
It's tempting to not pick up, it's always nice to have a UCS in the box. Like, I never hurt anyone, but sometimes, yeah, too many opportunities there. Like the $280 UCS gunship, like with double VIP.
Yeah, they make it real enticing.
It's hard to say no to that. I've been able to say no so far.
They're going to work a little extra hard to get you. They'll have to regroup, get into the board meeting.
Exactly. Like they need to work a little harder. So that Razor Crest is slightly tempting. It is tough because it no longer exists in current Star Wars media because it, of course, got exploded to oblivion. So it doesn't exactly exist, which makes it a little easier. It doesn't quite fit that iconic level for me, like the Slave One does. Still a beautiful ship, but $480. While it's a really good deal, it's hard to say yes to.
Yeah, it's especially when you've got the gunship that you're already struggling to make a decision one way or another. It'd be hard to. I can see the decision being harder for the Razor Crest.
Yeah. So
Brick disagrees with you. He wants you to buy the Razor Crest.
It's $420. Oh, it's $420. Did they dip it a little more? I thought it was like almost $600. It's better than I can't disagree that whether it's better or not. I'm just thinking more in the realm of Star Wars media, Star Wars content. Overall, it's just a blip on the radar as far as it is currently concerned. So that's kind of the main reason that's holding me back. But it looks beautiful. It's accurate, blah, 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 all that jazz. So no arguments there. But you just got to cut corners somewhere. Can't get everything nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm just kind of skimming through the sales again, just kind of refresh my memory, see if there's anything else we wanted to call out. But, right now, looks like, the big other item that might be on sale would just be, Boba's throne room.
How far cut is that on the Lego website?
It is from $99 down to $69.99.
Wow. And that's like nowadays at least that's normal retail price.
That's 7 minifigures.
I know, it's just so that set could have been something real special, but unfortunately not quite.
I don't really see anything else on the list. It's a lot of
rando stuff.
Smaller random sets.
Yeah.
So there was nothing really that caught my eye to get this time around for these deals.
We do have Delusion Brick in the chat, of course, the wonderful designer. I don't know if I don't think I've talked about it on a stream since, but Lego did have a kind of a mini competition where it was a galaxy competition, and he submitted an Andromeda Galaxy like wallpaper. It's like a flat display piece, and used a lot of the flexible tubes, and he won first place on that. I think he was like far above and ahead all the other competition. So he did a really great job designing that. Of course, won. So, and of course, he has that Bricklink Designer program submission as well. So depending on where the stream goes, I know he's a couple hours ahead as well. So don't want to keep him up too late if he's not up. But certainly if we can squeeze him in, I would be more than happy to have him on as well to talk about his submission. So we'll get to that Bricklink Designer program stuff a little later. But what about purchases this week, last week, honestly, since the last time we talked? I know you're teasing me with one, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I know I showed this to you. I sent you a picture of it. I don't think I had this the last time we did a podcast episode, but this was a gift, a birthday gift from my brother, actually. Can you see this in the frame?
If you put it in front of your face, I should be able to see it.
Okay, so this
put it a little lower, because the green screen is tipping it off.
Oh, gotcha. I forgot to turn off my green screen. I apologize. 7413. It's a Lego Adventures Johnny Thunder, the Orient Expedition series.
What year? Like 05 or 6?
Let me see here. It's got to be. It's early 2000s. I think I looked it up. It was like 2006. Let me get a.
Nice.
But I have been a big fan of the Lego Adventures sets, and I've been trying to collect as many of them as I can. They're very expensive. Try and get a hold of the larger sets, so you kind of have to pick away at the smaller ones, and you see them on a good deal on eBay or whatnot.
And you're trying to do new in box collection?
Yeah, well, yeah, if I can. That's tough to do.
That is tough.
I know eventually for some of the larger ones, it's probably not going to be feasible to try and get them unopened in the long run because they're just so expensive on eBay. But I'm hoping to dream though.
Yeah, I can only imagine that to be the case. Any of those older sets, it's just sometimes the price isn't even it. It's just there's nothing, no one has it as well. Is that also an issue?
Yeah, and those who do have it, they got it for the same reason I did, because they wanted to have it in their collection. They're not just going to give it away.
I mean, Lego, good old Lego. It's a High Council Studios with a little bit of knowledge. Y'all are talking about Indiana Jones' first copyright infringement. So was there something are you aware of this? Did something go on with Lego and they had a little copyright infringement?
I mean, Johnny Thunder is about as close as you can get to Indiana Jones without actually being Indiana Jones. I don't think there was ever actually an issue between.
Okay.
As far as intellectual property rights go, but it was their obvious.
Yeah, that was
Indiana Jones. Yeah, I mean,
so that must have been before they got the license. Is that? I would imagine.
It had to. I mean, Johnny Thunder was early 2000s. This set in particular was 2003. So.
He got me. He said it's just a joke. Just you got me, High Council. You got me. So as we get started, he's gonna get his next set ready to go up. Want to remind everyone, like the stream if you're new here, or if you're new to the stream, haven't liked it yet, and if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. And if you're feeling really adventurous, turn on those bell notifications. You know, I'll leave that up to you, but I'll only ask for the subscription. But all right, take it away with this new set.
All right, this is Lego Ideas, which obviously I know I've said it several times before on here that I try to collect as many of them as I can. But this is the.
it's not gonna like it.
It's not. I'm just gonna shut off my green screen.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, because I've got the little circle, so if you scoot back a little bit, then we can see the whole. Plus, you got a good background.
Is the Tales of the Space Age, and my first piece of Lego art.
Awesome. That was $70, or was it on sale?
This was $53.
Nice. That's a good.
It wasn't on sale actually. It was
no.
I think it was 55 or 53, something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to building this one over the weekend. I held off on opening it until I could show it off on here. It was
awesome.
But it came with this. This is the interesting part. I did some Googling online, and obviously you could see through the bag. It's just like a bag full of like Halloween,
Hmm.
random Halloween pieces. I don't know if you've seen this. Did you see this?
I know about it. Yeah, I haven't looked at it in detail, but
I'm able to like mess around with it and just try to identify like what's in here, but I wasn't able to find like a itemized list of exactly what's in here because I was hoping maybe you could help me out if you'd already seen it. But it's just a bunch of random pieces of
uh,
like Halloween, like spiders, bats,
yeah.
flowers, pumpkins, what have you.
I
With
would
that,
imagine someone in chat, either Squidman or Brick by Brick would have a good idea on where we can find an itemized list of all those pieces. Cooper, welcome to the stream. Cooper says Purple Classic Space Helmet is in there. So if that's something on someone's list, evidently that one is in there, which is good to
oh,
know.
it is. It is in there. It's grouped together with a bunch of skeleton
So there you go.
body parts and some blue candle flames.
There's
I don't
there's a
see
link
myself
to the
opening this.
Bricklink inventory. So I will, if anyone else is curious, I will put that in the chat as well. I would think it wouldn't ban me from it, but there's the link for anyone curious about what's in the, I believe they call what, like Halloween package.
The Halloween VIP fun pack.
There you go. They've been seeming, I don't know if that's just a regular thing over the years, but I know they had one early this year, maybe one last year, but they've had a handful of those.
But you know what's interesting? I don't know if like so this Tales of the Space Age Lego Idea set I bought, right? I bought 3 of them. I bought one for myself and I bought 2 as gifts for 2 of my brothers. And I deliberately made 3 separate purchases because I didn't want anyone to get like screwed out of getting the VIP fun pack. I wanted like everyone to get one. But after the second one, I think they caught on and they just didn't include the fun pack in there.
Oh wow,
I
that's very
didn't know
unfortunate.
that they would do that, and I ordered them all on the same day too.
Maybe they did finally catch on. They're like, huh, the 2 orders to the same address, or they might have a limit of 2 per household. That could be a thing.
Yeah, oh well.
Cooper has a good point. VIP fun pack, but not Lego Insiders fun pack. Evidently, they didn't get the word out soon enough, and they haven't. They haven't updated their marketing yet. So
yeah, they had these packages like they have like millions of them, and then just wanted to get rid of them.
Yeah. Also, I'll do a little bit of a plug since we've got a good number of viewers in the chat. Just a little bit. Hear me out for a little bit. So I did become monetized about 15 days ago, full monetization. So we do have opportunities here on the channel to be members and super chats, super thanks, all that stuff. So I'm super excited about that. Last stream with Mr. CPA, we had 4 people join at different member tiers, which I was very blown away, very grateful, very thankful for. It's awesome. Like sometimes you think, oh, no one's gonna, care too much, but I'm very glad that people are interested in supporting the channel through memberships and through super chats. I do have even if you don't join, I don't really mind. I just would like you all to click the join button and see the different tiers because I think it's funny. As a CPA, I kind of use the CPA firm hierarchy to make my different levels. And so if nothing else, look at that. Look at the different badges. I do have a different month membership badges that are custom to my channel, to our channel here, and not just the normal YouTube ones. So at least go check those out after the stream. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. So, and if you want to join, feel free. Over the next couple weeks and months as I kind of build that out, it will definitely be built out the plan is to have early videos at least, depending on the size number of members we receive. I will do member specific streams. So we're going to kind of work it from there. Nothing too crazy yet, but the plan is to continue to build that out as the channel grows. So that's my pitch. I think I kept it under a minute. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'd like to get the word out there for that. So
yeah, and I know I said it offline a little bit, but definitely congratulations on getting monetized. That's huge, and you deserve it. You've worked hard.
Yes, it has been a lot of work, and I appreciate those words as well. And yeah, no, it's been quite a journey. It's been fun and a lot of hard work, a lot of late nights. But I just had that goal. Like I'm not trying to. No way am I trying to go full time on YouTube. I never want to go full time on YouTube. That's a grind that I don't think I could ever achieve. So, but to have that goal to be monetized and to hit it within the year is just it's cool. It's fun. So I appreciate it and appreciate your help along the way as well with these streams and overall. We're gonna talk about Lego. Doesn't get much better than that. So,
No, it doesn't.
So, moving into the kind of the meat of the stream. I had a video earlier this week. Yes, because the voting opened on the Bricklink Designer Program Series 3 on October 9th or 10th. I think it was 10th. It's going to the 20th. And someone on my channel commented on that video and said, I'll be voting for mine, which, of course, you should vote for your own. That's what I would do if I if I submitted one. But they commented and said they will be voting for theirs, which the set is Miss Swan's Orphanage for the Weirdly Intelligent Children. And I commented, as I always like to interact with Lego designers, as I think people who design Lego, that's just like, man, I feel like I couldn't design a coherent Lego set. I don't know about you, but I'm not there creatively. I'd rather build them all. So
I've actually tried it, and I was not as good as I hoped I was.
I mean, you did it in the studio, the Bricklink
Yeah.
Studio program.
Yeah.
I mean,
It takes a lot more than you think it does. You have to really think that through.
and even just knowing all the pieces, like there's obviously hundreds and thousands of pieces, and just to know their names in and of itself is a huge thing. So
Yep.
big props to all those designers out there for sure. But I reached out to this individual and they were interested in coming on the stream and talking a little bit about their build, which is Miss Swan's Orphanage for the Weirdly Intelligent Children. And I'm gonna real quick, I will yeah, Delusion Brick and I, we've talked a little bit, and he said, I know I mentioned this last time, he's willing to help me kind of figure out how to maybe design or create some stuff. So more on that potentially, time willing. But let me go ahead and get this creation on the screen, because I certainly want you all to be able to see it. And then we will have her pop in chat, or in the, not in chat, in the audio portion. So one moment. Actually, I'm going to get her on here, and we'll turn that music off. Okay. And we'll see if I can say it right. MIRJAM. Is that correct? You're now live. You're not. I've unmuted you.
MIRJAM, yes, that's correct.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get your Bricklink Designer Program Series 3 design on the screen. And while I'm doing that, let's just kind of start the interview going through maybe a little bit about your history with Lego, how you got into Lego. Of course, I'm going to get the country right the first time. You are from Denmark, correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, I am.
I kept saying Norway when we were connecting before, and it was just, I don't know why it was in my mind, but Denmark. So you're from Denmark, which is always cool to connect with people across the globe. As Delusion, he's from Greece. You're from Denmark. We've got all these cool places. Lego kind of connects us all. So kind of walk us through how you first got into Lego, maybe some early memories, and then kind of weaving into the designer aspect and how those two kind of connected.
Well, since I'm from Denmark, where Lego is from, I've always played with Lego.
Absolutely. So basically from a young age, you were always into Lego, essentially?
Yes, of course. And I've been to Legoland when I was little, because, well, that's something you do in the summer. You can watch everything they have built over there. And Yes, well, and it combines with all my other creative skills and things. So I'm just building a lot all the time. I've just I'm always making something creative, and just right now, since I have an 8-year-old, we build a lot of Lego
Mm.
together, and yeah, he's also quite creative.
No, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, building Lego, I mean, as a kid, we just had a big tub of Lego that I think that my dad used when he was younger. So you know, it kind of got passed down to us. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I wasn't one of the creative brothers. One of my other brothers were. He just would kind of, you know, tell us, "Oh, put this there. Let's do that. What about that?" So, and you're also, as we were talking before, you're an engineer, which I'm sure helps a
Yes,
lot with creating some of these sets.
mostly mathematical engineering, so I haven't really made any building or anything like that. But yeah, it, always something that has to fit and be
Hmm.
structurally sound and stuff like that.
Awesome. And then from the designing aspect, how early were you making designs like this where I don't want to say coherent is a bad word because you know like the imagination from a kid, you know, it's all great imagination, but at what point did it kind of turn into just building Lego as a kid or as a teenager into kind of designing sets that
Well,
maybe you would
the
submit
the
to something?
the, the whole designing bigger things didn't start until like 2 or 3
Okay.
years ago. I've of course been building stuff and wanting to do something bigger, but then yeah, I got into it because I bought my son like 10 kilos of used Legos, and then we had to make a lot.
Yeah, I was just about to say, getting a lot of that creative process, and having a lot of resources on hand must be really important. A large variety
Yeah,
of pieces to just pick and choose from. To like, as your creative process is happening, just to be able to reach in and grab what you're thinking of in the moment instead of thinking, oh, I gotta go buy these pieces.
yes, of course. I've always had some Legos that I could build with, and then I got my son those 10 kilos of mixed everything, and then it's just gotten from there. And I'm buying something extra when I see some people having things on Facebook or
Hmm.
something where things I need, and oh, that one is a new brick. I need that.
No, yeah,
So
yeah, that's awesome. And then
yeah,
let's talk about you submitted something for series 1 and 2, and I don't think
yes.
those are available online anymore once the finals were chosen, but if you just want to kind of talk over your design process and creation process for those two, a little bit about what they were, and then we'll kind of we
Well,
work our way into series 3.
it was kind of the same thing I submitted for 1 and 2. I made a new version of it,
Okay.
but it was something I had made before in bricks. Um, a, a slightly different version. You always improve
Mm-hmm.
on what you're doing. It was inventor's cottage in the forest, and it has like a hidden workshop underneath, and where the inventor, that is a woman, she's making a time machine.
Ooh.
So she has this whole workshop underneath. And then I tried because I had to like hide this workshop somehow. In the first version, it has a little bit too much of a black box around it, but that's what I improved to series 2.
Awesome. And
So
and then working into series 3, was it kind of a similar structure, but then you changed the
uh,
theme,
no,
or just different, completely different?
this is structured differently. I actually started out with some picture I saw on Facebook at some point that I saved on my phone, and it was this kind of gothic, dark black house of some type, and I was wondering if I could do something in this style and what I would do with it. And then I figured out, well, we could, if it's has to be some kind of a little bit creepy, spooky sort of thing, kind of in the maybe somewhere in between gothic style and steampunk, and
Okay.
then
Yeah.
and then maybe an orphanage would work. So taking some hints from Miss Peregrine and the Nevers.
Okay. Yep. I was kind of thought maybe the inspiration for the theme came from somewhere, which is always cool to find out.
Yeah, but if those three things together led me to something like this, and kids with that doesn't really fit in other places, that should be their home.
Awesome.
So
So
yes.
with the and kind of that explanation covers a lot of what we're seeing here with kind of that darker. We have the dark blue and then just the straight up black walls with that. I like the differences with the gold and the black. I think that I really like that color scheme along with the
Yeah,
dark blue ceilings or roofs.
I needed to have something in it that was a bit lighter, because if it was only black, then it was just a bit too much. So I ended up making some brighter lines in it. That's where the floors are changing. You can see the couple of lighter lines that just makes a little breaks up the black part. And then I put in some dark red accents here and there because I love dark red.
Okay, Briconomy, anytime feel free to jump in with questions if you kind of see something that you want to ask more
So
about.
it's really cool that this like unfolds like this. I'm seeing more and more of that today. Is
Yeah.
on the top floor on the unfolded part can you talk about like does that function? Do those gears function at all, or
Oh, I
is
see.
that just more of just to tell the story a little bit?
Well, I wanted to do something where the gears did something, but I really didn't have time for it. It had taken a lot of work for a couple of months, actually.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine.
So the gears are just there to kind of give the look, just because I needed something machine kind of stuff that would be nice. But of course, I would have preferred it to like do something, but they don't. No, sorry.
Oh, no, even so, it works to tell the story. It fits in with the theme. It's great, very creative.
And I can only imagine once you get into trying to create some kind of technic function, that's just a whole different beast in and of itself.
Well, it doesn't really work in studio. You can't build up stuff and then test if the gears work and stuff. You you have to build in it by hand and see if it works, and then trying to fit everything in. So that part of studio is not working.
Mm-hmm. Which maybe kind of going back to earlier, how many bricks and pieces do you currently have on hand just from your different purchases and collecting things?
I have absolutely no idea.
That's a good answer. Too many to count.
I've sorted it out in a lot of different boxes, and those sorting things, I have no idea what they're called in English. Yeah, kind of those with a lot of little rooms or where you can put different types. And because it's sorted, it's so much easier to find the thing you need when you're building.
Well, certainly. Let's see. So is there any, you told us a little bit about the story behind this. Is there any, as you were building the house and the rooms and such, was there any kind of world building maybe you did in your own mind as you were creating some of these
Yes,
rooms?
of course. I've given all the children have names, and
Yeah, let's go to
they
the front.
kind of have all the different things they are doing. They are interested in different things, and they're all kind of built into the whole thing. What they like and what they do, and
Yeah, so
there's
feel
room
free to
for.
talk about. Here, let's go to this first one. I think this is the first one where we see a close up. These two, I think it's two kids that are sitting in front of the fire. By the way, I love that recliner. Is that an original design from you?
Yeah, they're kind of different things. No, actually, that is the Miss Swan
Okay, so that is Miss
is
Swan on the
one of them,
left.
and then there's one of the boys. Yeah, I needed something that was nice and cozy and with the fireplace and everything, and then a lot of books. I love
Oh yes.
books.
I
So,
really like the way this library looks with the. It's very sleek.
yeah, I love building things that has books in it.
And even I love how it's not like, if I would have created this, I would have done, I would have taken this kind of approach and just made them all the sideways two by two plate. I would have made them all that, but even some of these, you have the book binding is out, or it's a really thick binding, or there's just some things sticking out to give it that unevenness, which I think helps
Well,
build the
that is
aesthetic.
how books looks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, my books are not the same size, all of them, and they are. Yes, I have bookshelves here, and a lot of them. Surprise.
Yes.
So I wanted it to look more like what you're, how it feels in real life.
Definitely, and I think it certainly achieved that. Even if if Lego kind of took some inspiration from this and gave us a little room diorama, I think this bookshelf design would work great.
Yeah.
From that perspective, just to have that unevenness and inspiration from that.
Yes. And then I made two different chairs that they could sit in that would fit them. One of the problems when you're building things like this is when you have the females in a skirt, they can't like sit down.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I thought that was another student, because I saw that she has the normal feet, so I figured it was the other one. But no, that obviously they
I just
can't
gave her,
sit.
gave her a couple of legs so she
Yep.
could sit. But yeah, it doesn't really work in another way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, I love that green recliner design. It looks fantastic. I'm just kind of thinking through my head, if I had a bunch of little chairs for maybe some of my favorite minifigs and they could just sit on my desk, I think that'd be the funniest thing, actually.
Yeah, we'll just build some.
Exactly, yeah.
They're kind of fun to make. So.
All right. So it looks like we've got maybe the hangout space, or kind of the living room. We have a piano.
Yeah, that's the living room. There's a piano and there's a table. There are two kids right there playing chess. Yeah,
I like the legs of the piano being the skeleton leg. I like that.
I know.
Yes.
That's funny.
Well, I wanted to make it kind of a bit different. It's not,
yeah, it fits with the theme. It's great.
Yes, and then you can see you can use things in a lot of different ways when you're not really thinking you can. Everything is a little bit too dark in the picture, so it's not real. But it's kind of a what's that called? The piano that's lying down.
Is it an upright piano or a grand
No,
piano?
it's not a grand piano. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's called. Yeah, I also gave her a couple of real legs for when she was sitting at the piano, um,
Yes.
because the other thing didn't work.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yes.
So moving on to the next room, it looks like the kids' room and a little bit of the attic, which is with some creepy stuff in the attic. What's this? This pink webbing with the green stuff? Is that just some unseemly things growing in the attic?
Yeah, there has to be something just a bit spooky. There's a spider as well, and the eggs might be something of the spiders. And,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
the only spider web that was in the palette we could use was this pink one, so it's pink. No, there's also another one, but that was too big. It couldn't fit in there.
Okay, so
So now.
yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. So that was a restriction put on the designers from Bricklink themselves. You could
Yeah,
only use certain
there's
pieces.
yes. There's because they have to make them in from the pieces Lego is using for that year, that period where they're producing it. So it's not a big restriction. It's not like you have only 100 different pieces you can choose from. And there's a lot of different things, but of course the colors I've picked for all of it is chosen from the palette. So it's
Yep.
only some things I needed a lot more, especially women's wear that I couldn't really find. So it's a bit restrictive in which type of minifigures you can make.
Interesting. I actually noticed that's a creative use of a skirt piece with the sloped 2x2. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because they are children in different ages. So if the skirt pieces that you have are only like tall adult.
Exactly.
So I used something else.
And then a little bit of the front, and it like Bricotomy mentioned, they do fold. The whole thing folds up on itself. Is that correct?
Yes, it does.
Actually, this
So
gives us a good design.
this is the girls' sleeping area.
Yep.
So there are 4 beds and 4 girls, and yes.
And then, actually, that's a cool view of the stairs there. As I'm sure the stream will eventually catch up to where I'm at now. But the red stairs looks like some more of that dark red that you mentioned. You're a big fan of.
Yes. Yes, that's the stairs inside.
Awesome. Let's see what other kind of view. Okay, I really like the sort of, not really a spiral staircase, but the staircase up to the platform on the side of the house. I really like that design.
Observatory area.
Yes, a little observatory. You need to be able to look at the stars.
Exactly. Absolutely. We've got the another room over here, and then the dining area and a kitchen, it looks.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm still kind of trying to mentally figure out where everything is. Okay, this is a good picture, this wide angle picture again, because I think, as I've mentioned this so many times, that I'm not the biggest fan of buildings that have the open back, which when we talked about the Bricklink Designer Series 1, I think, 1 or 2, whichever one has been officially released, where they had the mountain. Bricotomy, you remember the mountain side one?
Yep.
And I was kind of like, oh, the back is open, blah, blah, blah. But then I think you pointed out that it closes up, which is similar to this. And I'm like, yes, because I love how you can display it 2 ways. You can kind of display it as its own building. It's closed, and it just looks very pleasing. But then if you want to show the rooms or for play as well, for that play scale, you do have that option as well, which this, of course, fits both of those very nicely.
So
That's why I don't really like those buildings that are just a big stackable things on top of each other, and you can't really play with them.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm 48. I like to play.
Absolutely.
can,
So
can you
Go ahead, Bricklink.
can you talk about the window above the main door? It looks like a keyhole,
yes.
and the stained glass look. I don't know if you've seen it from the inside yet.
Yeah, let me.
No, I don't really have any pictures in there where you can see it from the inside, because yours limited to 10. You're limited to 10, but yes,
Okay.
that's like stained glass window in different colors.
So how did you make
looks like-
that? Is that a Lego piece?
No, it's like those.
Are they the 1x bricks
It-
stacked next to each other?
No, yeah, these are small plates in different colors, and they're the transparent type. But they are put on the kind of, what's that called?
On their side?
Railing on their side that they fit in. It's not called, no. It's like yeah.
You're talking to
that
two
word.
people who don't design things and build things, so we're
I mean, looking at this picture from the front, it looks like they're just kind of stacked on top of each other, and are they just?
No, there's this diamond thing they are put into.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, kind of like the other windows, but with bigger squares. They actually fit right on the
I see what you're saying.
on
The
the
stud-
studs.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, they fit into
Yeah.
the of the window piece in front of them.
okay. I think I see.
But it's not a window piece. It's like what do you call that?
A gate or a
Lattice.
Yeah, it's kind of a lattice, but you use it for like if when there's something you don't want to fall down of, it's right on the border of where.
a ladder, a
No,
railing.
not a ladder. Railing, yes.
Okay.
And they are actually put on the side, so they are. It's a whole level inside the keyhole.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. That's a really clever design. And looking at the picture, I would have thought you maybe didn't use Lego pieces and just kind of, obviously you have to use Lego pieces, so I wouldn't logically be able to think that, but it just looks, it does look really great with that light shining through.
Yeah, I put some light on the inside when rendering the pictures. That also all the candles and the fire in the fireplace, they are all made to be the kind of lightning type of bricks. They are not that way in reality, unfortunately.
Yes. Yep. Oh, no, actually, now that I'm kind of looking at this a little more, I like how you also covered up which there would, of course, just naturally be these seams on the main spire, the main pinnacle, and you cover those up with the black Technic rods or pins. That I think it looks really great.
Yeah, they've got a bit too big of a hole in there, and I couldn't fit it another way, so I just made some decoration instead.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Yeah,
and if anyone in chat has any questions or thoughts, feel free to chime in.
I also like little. I've seen one bat so far. I wonder, did you hide any other bats? Oh, I see two bats actually. I see two bats.
Yeah, there's one bat hanging there, and then there are a bat wing, just the wings on the end of the big side building.
Yep.
Yes.
No, that's awesome.
Well, bats fit the theme, kind of.
Oh, 100%. Most certainly.
Oh,
They definitely
yeah,
fit the
exactly.
style. Let's see where
So,
that I'm gonna find the where the chimney comes through.
If you can see it and go one more over, you're going the
Oh,
wrong
yep,
way.
there it is. I see it.
Yep, that
Goes through
there's-
from the book, the we'll call it the library, through the
and
children's, all the way up through the attic. No, it's cool. No, it
well,
looks fantastic.
I needed to. I always want to make things so that it would actually be possible to get around in it in real life.
Mhm.
That's just the more of engineering, practical part of me. Uh,
Absolutely.
so one more little question from me, real quick. Is there anything inside that little vent underneath the library?
yes.
Is there a
Yeah, what's
person
hidden
in
in
there?
there?
It's just
Here, let me zoom in real close.
I don't think you can see it. I don't think it's
I wasn't
there's
sure if it was
just
another bat or if it was a mouse, but it looks like you hid something in there.
it's a skeleton.
Ah, that's so cool.
Maybe one of the naughty children?
And can
Question
you pull
mark.
up the floorboards and
You
can
never
you
know.
reveal?
You know. You ne-
Oh, that's funny.
That's
That's a
that's
good
a really
catch.
cool detail. I imagine someone like pulling up the floorboards of the library and revealing this chamber with the skeleton in it.
Yeah. Well, there has to be something a bit scary some
Yeah,
places.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, there are a lot of little strange details all around that some of them you can only see if you build it.
Makes
That's how
sense.
I like to make it.
Yeah. And then I imagine you've probably taken a look at the other Bricklink Designer Program submissions. Have
Yes,
you
of course.
come across any favorites? It looks like and maybe you can help us as we are kind of new to the Bricklink Designer Program process as well. Is there normally this many buildings in the group? Because there seem to be a lot of buildings and houses and stuff.
It seems like that's the thing people want to make the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that bricks was something you started out doing
Yep.
for making buildings. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, of course you can make a lot of other things, but when you build things, you can like have people live in them and have their stories and everything, which is the nice part of it.
And how are you? Are you hopeful? Are you confident going into the? I know it's a pretty tough crowd out there. I've just been looking what I've seen, kind of scanning through. Do you have any? You kind of hopeful that maybe you'll be able to get through the next round or through in the top 5?
Well, of course I'm hopeful, but the only thing I have to go by is the number of comments on each of the things. So, of course, as an engineer, I make statistics over number of comments.
Yes.
Yes. So I
Certainly.
definitely I'm in the top part, but not the part that has all the comments.
Yeah, I
But
can't even imagine. Even just creating something like this to me is a huge feat and something that like I could definitely see this as a set. You know, it's got that unique story. It's got the unique theme, kind of that eerie type theme and look to it. So I could definitely see it as a set. Of course, you know, like we've said, there's a tough crowd out there with just the number of sets that are being submitted through the Bricklink. So
yes, but it's only there was double in series 1. There were almost 400.
oh my goodness, wow, yeah, because there's about 187, I think, if I remember correctly.
185
Okay,
this round and 190 last round.
wow, that's
30,
So
35% of these sets are buildings.
Wow. Yeah. That's actually lower than I expected. I kind of expected
No,
more.
I think that's just the thing they put in the category buildings.
You're right. You're correct. Yeah. Yep.
Because a lot of the other categories are buildings as well. Like history of period and medieval and castle.
Okay.
They are more or less all buildings anyway. So.
And you mentioned that you actually have a couple Lego ideas submissions that
Yes, I do.
are out there. Do you know about how many supporters they're at and just a little overview about what they are?
Well, I have two ideas on Lego ideas. One is an observatory. I looked at the one that came out from on Bricklink, one of the first things, and I thought I can make a better dome than this. I have to make a better dome, so I designed one, and so now I'm just trying to get up to the 10,000, which is a bit difficult when you don't have those thousands of followers on social media.
Absolutely.
So
I've seen a tutorial or two on the ideas page. I'm trying to.
And then I've
one.
Oh, I think I found it. Looks like you are at 712 supporters.
Yes, that's one of my ideas. And the other idea is actually something I submitted for Disney 100 Years Challenge. But it was kind of a Christmas thing with some Santa candles and from the Pluto's Christmas tree Christmas short.
Yep.
It's very popular in Denmark anyway.
Awesome.
So I'm getting closer to 1,000 on that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. Let's see. I'll sort it by. Yeah, you're at 945. Awesome, and you've got almost a year to reach the next level. So I'll just shoot this one up. So on the screen right now is the Hypatia Observatory. Hypatia Observatory.
Yes.
Submitted in April this year. 712 supporters. And speaking of some of that Technic design that we were thinking of, this one does have the ability where the observatory windows or the dome opens up.
Yes, well, that's a function you need to have in an observatory. So it turns around all 360 degrees, and then you can open the observatory, and you can angle the
telescope.
The telescope.
Yep.
Yes, you can. So it has all those functions that you think an observatory should have.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Then it opens so you can see it from the. Yeah, it opens from the front so you can see everything on the inside. So yeah, and I named it after an old Hypatia, who was an Egyptian mathematician and astronomer.
That's cool. Now it looks great. I love the coloring. I love the green and the sand green. And then once again, that dark red bricks.
Yeah, the dark red, and then the sand green that kind of have the copper with the, what's that called? The oxidation. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense now that it is explained. No, that looks great. And I look forward to.
I wanted that color.
We'll keep our eyes on this one over the next couple months to see where it ends up. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Would be. Yes. Well, I like it.
Absolutely. Well, we are very grateful that you hopped on the podcast today. I know we talked a little bit more maybe than we expected, but I think that's fine with me. Getting all the details.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, there's a lot of details to go over.
It's only 11:30 p.m. here now,
Oh.
so
No, that's fine.
Well, thank you for coming on and talking us through these. They are definitely enjoyable.
yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And then, of course,
So
best of luck in the Bricklink Designer Program vote. I know I haven't yet because I haven't logged into my account. But I will certainly log in and give you the love it vote for sure to give you some support there. And hopefully, for those of you that are watching that enjoy this build, I would encourage you to make an account and vote for it as well, as it is I love the design, I love the aesthetic. So we look forward to seeing where it will go.
well, thank you. It's really nice that people like the stuff I make. It's always a bit nicer when people say they like it.
Yes. And I'm glad actually we did talk about your Lego ideas because I do really like that observatory, like the color and the style of the build and the functionality. So we'll certainly be keeping an eye on both in the next weeks and months to come.
Well, thank you.
Alrighty.
So I hope I get some votes for the orphanage the next week.
Yes, most certainly. As I think
Absolutely.
that ends on the 20th, if I recall
Yes,
correctly.
it does.
So yes, we will hope you get votes as well, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yes.
So with that, we'll move on to the next portion of the podcast where we kind of look through some other Bricklink Designer Program submissions. So I will go ahead and no, I don't want to be too rude, but we'll remove you from the call. thanks for stopping by, and I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
Until next time.
Yes.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Have a good evening. And remove from group. Okay. It's like I said before, I always love talking to
Absolutely. That's
other designers, people that
treat.
certainly know more about it than I do.
And it's made me more open to the idea of going on there and trying my hand again at designing something through Bricklink.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll get into it myself. So, all right. And what kind of time are you on a time constraint today? Or
I've got about another hour in me here.
perfect, because
How about you?
that's about what I have planned. Because we
Sounds
are
good.
currently we'll catch up with chat a little bit. I know got our first member in the chat, Dave Bricks. G'day, CPA. How's down under? Hopefully it's going well over in Australia. And just to give you a little update on one of our first members, Dave Bricks. He is, once again, he's from Australia, and he had his dark age of Lego, I think, lasted maybe 20 or 30 years.
And you say dark age, are you saying like in time of no buying?
Correct. Yep, just for lack of a better term, no interest, no purchasing interest or collecting or building interest in Lego. And then I think someone bought him a set, which seems to be the very, very consistent story across the board. Someone buys someone a Lego set, and then they remember how much fun it was to build. And so now he said he's full back. He's into it. And he's got to explain to his wife
side.
why.
They're still good in you.
Yes, exactly. Oh, it's always, a dark age is never.
No.
The dark is only the dark because of the light. Right? Something like that. Was that fancy enough? And we're going to get brick by brick. You should be able to join in the call if you want to, brick by brick. Feel free to hop on. We've also got Derek in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. And I did see, don't worry, he might not still be hanging around, but I did see Tyler in the chat. Tyler from Life Bricks. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. So, I hope you both chose chose 5. We may not get through all 5.
I chose more than 5.
You
Oh,
chose
boy.
more than 5, and your audio is quiet, but that's probably my fault.
Oh, wait.
Here, let me say something now. I did turn your up to like 175%.
We about to get our eardrums blown out.
Me and the viewers, maybe. Everyone else should be fine, or everyone else being you. So, okay. So if you want to, Brickotomy, we'll go with one of your favorite designs.
Right.
If you just want to tell me, and I'll pop it up on the screen.
Look for Copperhead Creek.
Oh, snap. I should have seen that one coming.
You should have seen that one coming. This has the whole town. This has the train station, the saloon, the bank, and the sheriff's office.
How is that possible? Let me just do a little bit of redesigning in the...
Oh, did you?
I snipped the screen a little bit, but we're back. We're back.
So if you look at this, the whole landscape of this, you've got quite a bit here going on for one set. Like you could easily have made a couple sets out of this, but it's in one thing. You've got the train. You've got 3 buildings. Granted, I can't really see too much detail about the buildings in these pictures. You can see a little bit, but it looks like there actually is some structure to them. Some thought. Like the bank's got a safe, the jail's got a jail cell, and the saloon's got a little bit going on in there. But the last picture shows the train track circling
my
the entire
goodness.
town.
How many pieces? Okay, see, all of them seem to be really pushing. So I believe there's a 4,000 piece limit, and
It
Delusion
took it to
Brick.
96.
Delusion Brick can certainly correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's either 4,000 or like 42. Brick by Brick, are you still there? You still there? You might be muted. I can't hear you. I don't know if someone else. If you've been talking this whole time, I haven't been able to hear. But
So
No.
okay,
I
got
can
you
hear
now.
him. It's very quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Let's see.
It's louder. I don't really know how to use this microphone.
It sounds the same.
It sounds the same.
Yeah.
Let's-
Yep. 4,000. Delusion has the total.
So it's really pushing it, but obviously I'm really biased to Western sets, as you know. So I'm curious to get your opinion of this set from kind of more of a diverse perspective.
Okay.
I
let's
also
see.
selected this one because I like this one a lot. I think.
Interesting.
See, Break
So-
by Break says I don't know if you can hear him. CPA.
Yeah. He said this is one of his faves.
Yeah. Yes. That is what I said.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that it has everything all in one set, but it will be expensive. So I don't know.
So you're thinking this will be like, I mean,
400.
350, 300?
350 to 400 would be my guess.
I know, what's his name? Squidman added me for not having backs or for wanting backs on buildings. I can't see a picture with the back of a building, but it looks like they all have backs. Is that?
My assumption was that they don't.
It looks like
I don't think they do.
the train station one has a back because they have a picture of
Oh,
it
yeah,
going
the
by.
train station, yes, but I think the other 3 don't.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I probably agree with that just because the pictures on the side are kind of wide open. Which, I mean, it does make sense. I just wish they didn't really hide it as much. Oh, it's got a spiral staircase. I'm a sucker for spiral staircases. Let's see. I mean, they all look great. I love the siding on these buildings. Very noticeable, and they all kind of, they're just designed very well. And I love how, like you said, I would imagine both of you would agree, it's a full it's a full stinking play set. Like you
Yep.
have it all. You don't have to
Yeah.
buy set A, buy set B. Granted, it's gonna be what, like 354.
Yeah, I agree. I would obviously like it better if it was in like the $250 range, but it's most likely going to be higher than that.
It's gonna be a pretty expensive set. But if they did each one of these things individually as separate sets, they probably would have made each of them bigger. So like
That's true.
it will be cheaper to get this if you want a full Western town than it would have been to buy a bunch of different Western buildings done in multiple or over multiple rounds of this. Because like the general store that got selected from round
Mhm.
one, that would probably be like 200 by itself.
Oh snap.
I don't know exactly. It'll be 150 to 200.
Yeah. I can't remember how many pieces, but yeah, I remember that being I like that one. So let's see what they say about, if they say anything unique in the description. It doesn't look like it. Only 17 comments. The Miss Swan's school orphanage had more comments than that. That's interesting.
Not looking good for this set then.
I wonder if it's just getting lost in the crowd.
Could be. There were a couple other Western ones, but I think this was my favorite of the ones that were there. There was another like large bank one.
Yeah, I actually have that one, and I have that secondary bank one pinned as well.
I'd pinned it, but it was like I pinned it before I'd seen this one, and I was like, oh, I like this one better.
No, it looks great.
Between-
Yeah, it wasn't on my top 5, but I'm not biased against Westerns. It's just probably not my first pick. But no, I like it.
Between the two, did you like this one or the other one more?
I would probably be more likely to buy the bank simply because it's one set and I'm getting. What would you say for the Rock Bank, the Old West Bank? What would you say the price point on that one was going to be, being at 3,999 pieces?
It would also be
'Cause- exactly, but I'd be more likely to spend the $400 on the full bank with all of its more fleshed out design than I would the whole Western town, being a
CPA is gonna
bunch
hate
of
it.
smaller, lessly designed. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say CPA is gonna hate it because it has open back.
I hate it.
You already hate it?
I mean, I don't hate it, but like, and I realized my audio is messed up because I had Brickotomy too loud. So I'm trying to balance you all out. So it was partially on my end. But let me look through it a little bit. Yeah, it's got a lot of designs. I like the front porch. It's got all the necessaries.
Yeah, and it's got the banker's lamps. You've got definitely a better designed interior than what I imagine the other bank has in the other set.
Better than, I think the level of detail is probably similar, but this one just has more space to do more things.
Mhm.
Like the other interiors look pretty cramped, and here it's pretty spacious, and you can post figures around it and all that without any issue, really.
Personally, though, I feel like I'm getting more with the other one, though.
I agree with you there. I think that this one you're getting more stuff. Like, yeah, the bank is smaller and less detailed, but I think the overall level of detail for like the entire thing here is better than what you would get from just buying one $400 bank. Because I can see like I can justify a $400 value with the whole town set. The bank, I would have a hard time spending $400 on that.
I see both of your points, but the way I'm thinking about this is long term. I want a really good Western landscape build, and I would rather over a longer period of time and collect really good looking buildings to build a bigger town than to already have one small little town that I can only display in a small area.
Yeah,
which is fair.
That's fair, because I mean they've already got the general store, so maybe this one inherently has a good shot because
I feel like
that
the
just
general
adds to the.
store wouldn't. Was the general store by the same person as the submission?
I can find out. Let's go series. I think that was or was that a series
Or it was
one?
series. I think it was series 1.
It
could be wrong.
was. It was by. Nope, it was by I Lucky or Lucky with 2 L's.
Yeah, I could see that general store fitting into the scale of either of the two cities. To be honest, it would be large in the second one, or in the one that's like a full town already. But I think you could reasonably display the two of them together.
And then series 2 actually had a, if I can pull it up correctly, had the train railway, the high,
yeah.
high,
Yeah,
so it
it's
kind of ish fits the
Yep.
theme.
Yep.
Sort of.
I can see it. I can see it making
You could make it fit. It was definitely a newer era, but you could make it work. But yeah,
So yeah.
solid
So
pick.
two of my top 5 were the westerns. So I did overlap a little bit, but for my third one, this is actually a Delusion brick build.
Nice.
The Seagull Bay Lighthouse.
Let's save that one for later because he may actually hop on, and we may
Perfect. That's definitely
have
one
him
of my
talk
top.
through it.
So we need to take a look at that. Look to it. It's beautiful.
All right, brick by
Imperial
brick.
Frigate.
Give me one of yours.
All right, I'll give you my first one. I'm send a link in the Discord that you can copy and paste it in.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is the best submission in the entire thing.
Is this a joke?
What if it's not?
Is it
It's
gas?
definitely not.
I think it is gaslighting week.
It
So,
is gaslighting. But why would I
Monty the
joke?
Meerkat by God
Yeah.
of the Cats.
The thing that's brilliant about the submission is that I can't tell it's a meerkat, and that's why it's so perfect.
What if they knew it was gaslighting week and they're gaslighting us?
Exactly. The other thing that is brilliant about it is it's only 778 parts, so it would probably be like a $70 set, which is a lot cheaper than the Western set.
I don't know if
This
I
one.
would even pay $78 for this.
I don't know what
Give
you're
it to
talking
me. Give it to me as a gift with purchase, and I'll use it as a conversation starter at parties.
There's 0 comments on it.
I think this has the highest chance of being approved, and I definitely voted love it.
All right, what's your next one?
All right. Here's my next one. I promise this one is serious.
Lego store. No way, this is serious. It's just a block.
So I will say that was my first initial reaction, but this is supposed to be a specific Lego store. So look at I think it's the third
Yeah.
picture.
I know. I figured it was an actual. The actual Lego store is a block.
Yeah.
There's no
perfect.
way they
It's not.
approve it just because it's a Lego store. Someone in
Yeah,
chat talk me
there's-
down.
This was also my other joke submission.
So do you have 2 joke submissions and 3 real ones, or?
Oh no! I have 5 real ones. With
Okay.
2 joke submissions.
Okay. I mean, it's a
one of the
good
real ones
build.
was
It's a
more
great.
so.
It's very accurate. I can't deny that.
I'll give you an actual one though, that I think would be cool to see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's another one of mine. We think alike.
You
No way.
Brick by
do.
brick.
Both of you do think alike.
This is a beautiful set. I really
Yeah.
want this one.
I think this is a really well-built pirate ship, and I think it's been a long time since we've gotten a well-built pirate ship. So on that basis alone, I would like to see it happen. I will say that I don't have any specific attachment to this ship. If there was another one that was equally detailed and good, I'd be like,
I
"Okay,
agree.
I'll take that too." But
Did
We
either of you
just
see
we're
one
severely lacking.
in this?
I saw one other ship that wasn't as good.
Okay. And this, of course,
I don't know if
is
you also saw that Dichotomy, but
titled Imperial Frigate Concordia by Period Perfectionist.
yeah. But yeah,
Let's
I
scroll
think
through
it
some
would
of
just
these.
be. I like the overall interior of this too. I think it's nicely built, and there's a good level of detail. So
Scott is a big fan of this one
that's
in
good.
chat. Whew.
I mean,
So
it pales in comparison to the Meerkat, but I think it's a pretty close second.
does it need cloth sails?
It probably would look better with them, but they
It
would look
would, but the rest of it looks great, good enough to where I could overlook the fact that it doesn't have it.
Because it
Yeah.
looks like it's in harbor, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like it's not. And this also though would be like a $400 ship, which is pretty big. I think that would be the biggest thing or biggest boat they've ever done.
Let's see if we have
Oh, how much?
measurements.
How much adjusted for inflation would the Black Sea's Barracuda Bay be today, though?
The original or the Ideas one?
The original one, yeah.
Original would be like the really old one from like the 80s. That one I don't know.
Oh,
But the Ideas Barracuda Bay set, if that's what you were talking about.
well, that's what I have that one. I'm talking about the
You're talking
original
the really old one.
Black Sea's Barracuda from like the 80s, yeah. So that
Barracuda. Do you know what that retailed for?
I don't have no number off the top of my head.
I'll find out. It was $110. So $110 in 1989.
Oh, that's going to be like 300? Nah, 250? 220?
So then if this was a $400 set, it would be the most expensive pirate ship they've put
I
out.
mean, I was under the impression that Barracuda Bay would have been the most expensive.
And there was another. Correct
would
me
be
if I'm wrong, but there was another Imperial ship from
Imperial flagship in like 2008ish.
Yeah. What was that? What was it called?
Imperial flagship came out in 2010.
There you go. Okay.
That
That's
one
another
retailed
one of
for
the. That's another ship that I would really, really want, but I think that every time I've looked for it or looked it up, I've just been like immediately like, no, there's no way I can pay for that.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So honestly, this being $400 doesn't seem too bad. It sounds
Yeah.
like.
The only thing that it would be missing at 400 is sales.
Which the designer in the comments said, yes, it would be great if they had sales, but I don't think the designer is too.
Expecting.
Oh, they said if it's not possible, I will definitely provide exact outlines for sales and a tutorial on how to make them. It's not difficult.
That's good. And yeah, I was gonna say that people do make custom sales for Lego pirate ships. So
Yeah.
there is definitely, even if this designer wasn't specifically going to tell us how to do it, there would definitely be resources out there for people who wanted to.
And that's cool.
Yep.
It's an Australian, someone from Australia. That's cool. Builders are all over the world. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, so looks like chat's a fan of this one. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I love the coloring, that black with the what's that, light tan?
Looks great. Regular tan.
Regular tan.
Yeah. Sand tan.
And how many minifigs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a lot. But that, I would imagine that's a standard crew.
I count 12.
12? Did I miss the captain maybe? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 12. I missed one.
Brick by brick. How much do you think? I just looked it up. The original Imperial flagship, how much do you think it's selling for right now?
I'm gonna guess like 600. Are you talking sealed?
Yeah, sealed.
I would guess
in
like,
its box.
Maybe like 800.
It's $1,270, $1,200.
Okay. Oh, it's like 800 used. Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that is quite expensive.
The lesson here, ladies and gentlemen, is to buy the sets as soon as they come out.
Yeah, one of the reasons I thought that this particular designer program submission was interesting was because it was more in the style of like the Imperial flagship than something like
And
Black Sea.
affordable.
Yeah, and affordable.
Okay, let me pick up one of mine. First, I'll need to scroll through and find them all.
You didn't remember the names? You didn't write them down?
I did not write them down. but I remember them upon vision. No, not the Old West. I almost picked the school bus. I thought that looked really good.
I also almost picked the school bus, but I didn't.
Interesting.
Wait, what am? I feel like I'm not on the right one anymore. Oh, that's right. They sorted by random. Come on, right click. Oh, I wasn't right clicking. So we'll just do the Wayfarers Inn. Partially
Okay.
just because they made it glow yellowy orange, and it just looked
Caught your
really.
eye.
It looked really cozy to me. So their presentation.
Is that the Sword in the Stone?
It is.
Oh, I totally glazed over that.
I just want to put this out there, future designer program or hopefuls, make sure that you make your model glow yellow, so CPA will vote for it.
I will vote for it if it glows yellow. Actually, I don't think I've voted for it. Have I? Yes, I have. Yeah, just make it glow yellow.
got
I'll
you.
vote for it.
I got you.
Yes, you get a little squirrel and the sword and the stone. What else do you need? It just looks really cozy.
It's Traveler's Rest.
And I don't think they did, unfortunately, they did not do a good job of showing all the inside. And I don't even know if it opens up. I would imagine it has to, or the ceilings come off or something. But
I guess maybe the ceilings come off.
yeah, unfortunately, we just can't. But I mean, I don't, as a Lego person, I don't need that. So, yeah. Thoughts on it, brick by brick?
I think it's cool. I mean, I feel like it's too big for what it's trying to be.
Mm.
Would be my only right, because how many pieces is it?
3992.
Yeah, we're looking at another $400 set.
Dude, they're all. I mean, this whole Bricklink Designer Series is just. They're all buttoned up to 4,000.
Most of my selections were smaller. I had one set that was exactly 4,000, but and then the flagship, and then the other ones were smaller than that.
Yeah.
Like the Meerkat, which is really affordable.
Oh, what did Scott say? So Scott says really likes it, but something is off with the trees. Now that I clicked it away, yeah. So I do agree with that. The trees, they're kind of skinny. They're kind of skimpy. I feel like they need a little more sustenance to them. Maybe a couple more branches just to make them fill out.
They're also like extremely straight.
Yeah. Except this one, but the two on front, or the two that are mainly visible. Yeah, they're just poing. So it kind of
might be
takes you out.
I mean, if you put any more on it for the image, it would kind of be covering up a lot of the exterior of the building. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I just think that they look unnatural, which is something that a lot of Lego trees struggle with. But
yeah. Andy says real quick, CPA, today at work, someone got mad that I didn't know whether the Taylor Swift idea set was going to be a thing or not. I mean, you work at Lego, you should know that, right? I figured everyone at Lego knows everything that's going to be coming out in the next year or two.
I mean, CPA, you've got all the Taylor Swift lore now, don't you?
I sat through almost 3 hours of Taylor Swift lore today, so yes, I should know
did
everything.
They not reveal it in the movie? I thought they were supposed to in a post-credit scene.
Actually, ironically, the Lover House was a very small part of the whole movie. I figured it would be more. I was a little disappointed. I'm giving it a 2-star. I wanted needed more Lover House.
Is that 2 out of 5?
Yeah, 2 out of 5.
This was another one of yours. I almost selected this one.
Riverside Scholars, and it looks like it is a continuation of the Mountain Windmill series. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was like in its own universe type thing.
Universe building, lore. I love it.
I mean, it looked like a lot of what you see is what you get. The back is open. Wow, I can't believe I picked this one.
I was going to say that. You're regretting it now?
I am. I might have to pull it. I might have to
CPA
say,
Cardinals then.
Not for me. Oh, once again, I like those chairs. I like minifig chairs. I need more minifig chairs.
The library books being the panels again.
The library. Oh, let me go back to that. I probably just glossed over it. Oh yeah, not as creativity as our former guest, but yes, same style there. My Lego library designing requirements have been heightened after today's episode. I expect more. So yeah, I mean, it's once again, it's another building. Looks kind of cool. It's in its own theme. So yeah,
How many pieces was this?
if I had to guess, it would be 3.9. Oh, okay, 2.692.
Now, see, part of me was wondering if like the strategy to be like is like if people really trying to just push it as close to 4,000 as they can. Like, I mean, sure, that's fine, but realistically, there's a lot of sets that are in the like 1,000, 2,000 range of pieces that we buy regularly.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
I almost think they're disadvantaging themselves by trying to get as close to 400 as
Right, because then everyone else is doing it. Like, not everyone
and
wants a $400
I
set.
I think Lego does not specifically go straight on the number of votes because otherwise I think we would get a lot more of the $400 sets that no one would buy. So I think they specifically try and pick lower price point ones. Or not like exclusively $400 price point ones.
Yeah, which is I think a strategy as a builder. You probably want to stick to you want your build to stick to a certain number of pieces because yeah, like this set isn't competing with the 4,000 piece sets. Depending on what Lego wants, they're competing with the other.
Ideally, you want it to compete with the 4,000 piece sets, but not have 4,000 pieces.
True. Yeah. We do also have a little bit of controversy in the comments. Someone said, "This is Jystar 89149, the Riverside Scholar set published in December of 2022." And then the designer says, "They stole it from me, unfortunately. I first submitted to Lego Ideas in 2020.
We have some tea here.
We've got some tea. So if you Google Jystar 89149, you get
can
this.
buy it for $74.
You get this thing, yeah, on Google, and you can buy it. Which is that everything, or is that just the instructions?
That's literally the same set.
It's everything. It's a knockoff set.
Do you think it's knockoff Lego pieces? Yeah, it's got to be. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
of
it's
course it is.
knockoff Lego pieces.
They straight up stole this, and since there's really nothing they can do about it, they're just getting their quick buck off of it.
Pretty much. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Just remember, folks. Warning: you can not eat. Just so everyone knows, you can not eat.
Also, don't ever buy knockoff Lego unless you're really desperate.
Especially knockoff Lego that has been stolen from Lego Idea submission. Because technically it would have to be Lego that would go after this company because Lego owns, if it's been submitted to Lego Ideas, they own the rights to that IP, not the person who created it.
Okay. Right. No, a good way to obviously protect against this is watermarks. Your pictures.
Yeah.
Make a little more difficult to rip off.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but
I mean, they'd still do it.
yeah, I feel like they could figure out a way.
Figure out how to build it, which they'd have to do anyway.
Yeah, but it is kind of sad they were literally using original photos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. Whoops.
That's 3 for you, right?
That's I think that's just 2.
I thought that was 2.
So let me scroll through, find the other one. That is not the school bus. Okay. I thought the geode was cool. I kind of enjoyed the geode. I don't think it works. Let's see. I'm not sure which comment you are referring to, Andy. but feel free to educate us on intellectual property law.
He's
All right.
talking about how you said Lego would have to go back, go after them because Lego,
I
might
mean,
be, which isn't entirely accurate,
so
but
how
it's close enough that I don't care.
who would go after them?
But no one would go after them, really. It's basically that only Lego can. I mean, Lego doesn't care enough to go after them.
Yeah. No, obviously they wouldn't. And
But
technically
if
they're
we,
in Japan, so or they were in China, somewhere in Asia. It looked based on the language, and so there's no law. There's probably no jurisdiction even where they're at.
yeah, like, I doubt there's really much that could be done to stop them. So
So I know this one is actually competing with the Cullen House in the Lego Ideas submission program, the Lego Ideas program. Does this not look like the Cullen House from
It looks like the Cullen House but brighter.
yeah,
the Happy Cullen House, the human Cullen House? But I like the design. It kind of gave me some Frank Lloyd Wright vibes with it kind of being built into the ground. Trees look pretty good. A little bit better
It looked
because they're
better than
pine
the one
trees.
that-
I like the brick versus flat, that wood siding. I'm always a fan of the wood siding, the way they kind of use those split. What are those tiles? So, does this scratch anyone else's itch here? Almost 4,000 pieces once again.
it's nice looking modern architecture. I like that. It wasn't one. It wasn't. I hadn't stopped to look at it too long, so it didn't catch my eye right away. A lot of these pictures I'm actually seeing for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I actually did read the terms of service, Andy, and they do own it. I was actually going to make a video about it. I might still. Fun fact, based on the terms of service I read a couple weeks ago, they own it even if you delete it from the Lego Ideas. Let's say you submit it and it's there for 1 day. Lego actually owns the instructions, everything. You legally cannot sell anything involved with that for 3 years. They own it for 3 years, even if you remove the submission.
Are you allowed to give away instructions?
I didn't read it with
I feel
that
like
in
you might
mind,
get
but I feel like you probably could.
Yeah, I think you're able to like distribute instructions for free if it's rejected, but I don't.
And then add a button for tips.
Oh, and he thought it was just some random mock. Yeah, no, that was it was a Lego Ideas submission in 2020. But all right, we're getting on this modern house for too long. All right, someone else. I imagine I imagine you two will probably have the same one. Just a
So-
random guess.
I feel like Bricotomy is not going to have this one. So I'll send
So
this one.
we already know my fourth one. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit.
Yes.
My last one was the Forest Stronghold.
That was not mine.
Okay. Oh, and this looks. Did they actually build it, or did they just have a really good render with an actual background?
This looks a lot like the Cats on the Forest from Series 1. Is it the same designer?
Is it the same designer? Krakenator?
Or not this version of Bricklink Designer Program, but the one from like the one that was
Yeah.
already released.
Truth be told, we see a lot of it. Like it's the theme that really draws me. We see this type of like structure, building, castle. I'm seeing this more and more, and Lego Ideas submissions and Bricklink submissions. Like I'm seeing this type more and more. Yeah.
I love the tree designs. Those tree designs are really enticing.
This specific one struck me as a little more Robin Hoodie than the other medieval sets.
The back is open, automatic L.
You gotta overlook that.
Yeah, I know. What do you
But
think in
it
Brick by
looks-
Brick?
I like it. It's fine, but again, it looks very similar to the Cats on the Forest to me.
Yeah.
it looks like we got some sort of raid going on here. Like on a lot of the pictures, you see gold being stolen in this castle.
Oh, and you can put it in different. You can take the bridge apart and kind of put it in your own
That's
format,
cool.
which is
That.
always nice. All right.
Yes, the trees look much better.
Drum roll for the piece count. I'm guessing like 3987.
Oh, it's
Wow.
lower than I thought.
3200.
Which is
Between
surprising.
300 and 350 probably.
Consider what they got going on here. Was it 9 minifigures too?
I would say that this has more presence than that Western Bank, with a lot fewer pieces.
I would agree 100%. Like, and they did use a lot of, or more bigger pieces with some of the flooring, it looks. So that definitely helps. But no, it just has a bigger footprint feel and look as well. I mean, I feel like it probably just practically does. Let's see if we can get a, yeah, like that's the money shot for me. No, that's a solid pick.
Yep, I thought so.
I think Chad agrees, especially with those trees, and I like the kind of the blossoms on the tree. It looks great. Because I mean, if you take the trees out, it really does take it down a step for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. If the trees weren't there,
like,
it would look so blocky. Almost.
I do like that they kept the trees like consistent with how they did them in that like Forestman promo.
Yep.
So this would look like it belongs with that.
Next up, we've got. I'm hoping this is a. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I hope this is a real one, and so this one is by Bricklink, which is part of the 10K club.
What have they done?
Bricklink. Okay, I think they are still part of the 10K club, but I was mixing them up with Bricky Brick, who does all the buildings that the Lego Ideas modulars that of course are likely never going to get chosen.
So you chose this one even though it has an open back?
This is Brick by Bricks.
And it also does not
okay.
have an open back. It closes. It can be opened.
So Bricklink has done a ton of modulars. Just a lot of modulars. I feel like they've also done. Were they chosen for a previous? I'm certain Delusion knows. Oh, okay. Yeah, they were Brick Cross Station in Series 2.
Oh,
I love
yeah,
that one.
That one.
I also like that one a lot.
So they are no stranger to designing Lego sets, especially buildings, is their bread and butter. Wow, this especially with the Willy Wonka movie coming out soon, this is like perfect timing.
Oh, they
This
also
has
did
got
the
a real
ET
Winter Village.
too. That's their 10K.
Mm.
The ET project.
Oh, it's kind of flat on the back. I mean, it does all open up, but it kind of abruptly was shortened on the back. But still looks good.
The thing that I liked about this was that it looks like it would fit really well into a Winter Village, and it's something that they haven't really done before. Like this looks like it would go well with that Winter Chalet from Bricklink Designer Program Series 2, I think.
Okay, yep, I remember that one.
I've liked the Winter Village sets, and I have all of them, and I think that this one would also be cool. And it's also just a unique concept and a well-designed building that, like, I can't name a set that they've done that looks like this.
Very unique, very homey.
Unique architecture.
Even the ground here, it wasn't just, they could have made it flat plates, but they made it that kind of cobblestone feel, which looks great.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how many pictures. We'll kind of slide through the pictures here. Ooh, I love the rounded arches, and we have a full on a full on chocolate melter machine. That's great.
Yeah, there's a picture that shows like all the different chocolate processes.
We
Identify
have
all
all
of it.
the OSHA safety guidelines surrounding this. I mean, that's pretty dangerous thing there to have the railing right above it.
Someone's gonna fall in, and it's right next to the where you put all your hats and stuff, where you kind of just chill. Oh, and they took the floor design that I loved from Brick Cross Station. They put it in the coat room, basically, with that kind of plaid design.
Right. In order to get your vote, we need the flooring and the yellow glow, and you'll
Yeah.
vote it all the way.
All right, as I've been tending to save for the end of each of these, how many pieces do you think this has? It's got to be right up to 4,000. There's so many little details, especially just on the outside.
So I won't comment.
Oh my!
3,000.
How? How is there
70.
only 2,600 pieces? Wow.
I don't know, but I think that this would definitely be relatively affordable compared to some of the other ones we've looked at.
Yeah.
Probably. Do you think they could squeeze it down to 200 with all the small pieces?
200 might be pushing it a little, but I could see anywhere between 200 and 250. I don't think it'd be more than that.
Man, honestly, if it's that much, I'm probably buying this. Just because like you mentioned, brick by brick, I love the winter style things. I haven't personally purchased any yet, especially with the Alpine Lodge that just came out. I want it.
I also want it. So I hope that this one does make it. And it also is something that they haven't done anything similar to this at all yet through the Bricklink Designer program, so I could see this one making it.
Yeah, no, this is beautiful. It'll be awesome to get this.
One thing that I will say, I looked at the designer's ideas profile, and they submitted this to Lego Ideas a couple of years ago. It made it to 10K, but did not get approved.
I have theirs open as well. Which one was it? So I can just
the House of Chocolate. It's called the same thing. This is not designer program. This is actual ideas.
Alrighty, I'll pull it over. So it was the same.
It's basically the same general concept,
yeah, but way more polished. And this was in 2020. So think of adding end of 2020. So adding like 3 years of experience.
Yeah.
And just design growth as a designer. They polished.
I think the new one is like a much more like evolved version of this concept, I think.
And just more whimsical and kind of leaned into that, for lack of a better description, Willy Wonka theme. And just whimsical Christmas magical chocolate land.
I mean, like the original one from Ideas is good, but I like this one a lot better. The new one.
And of course, it probably didn't get approved because it's a modular.
Yep. So that's why they decided to make this one not a modular, I guess.
Because it has all. Does it have all the pins and stuff in the?
The old one looks like it doesn't have all of the pins, but it's like obviously designed to look like a modular. Like it's not a base plate.
Yeah.
Which basically, if you put it on a base plate, it's dead on Ideas.
Okay, are there any other? I know I think I have a couple out there, but none that immediately come to mind. Like, oh, we have to talk about these. So,
I have.
Oh, actually, I just found one the Lost City. We can just go over this one pretty quick.
Okay. The market.
I almost picked that one. I almost picked that one too.
It just has that cool theme to it. 3,300 parts, man. I would have expected it to be lower. Love the green, love the Indiana Jones type vibe once again. Good size.
I like the pond in the middle.
All right, which one, brick by brick, were you gonna?
The market hall that was right next to this one.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Same room, yeah.
Let's go right to the piece. Okay, 1,500 pieces. So this one
Yeah,
should be
this-
sub 200, easy.
This would probably be like 150. Be cheaper than most monsters.
Love that floor. That floor looks great.
Yeah, I think it's just a cool concept again, something that we haven't really gotten before, and I think that it, I think it looks nice from the outside.
It looks like
It's
a
cool
market
architecture.
in France. It looks like a market from the Assassin's Creed video game. Yep, the designer's from France.
I was gonna
Nice.
say like the European market. So
So they did a good job from that respect. Because yeah, it literally looks like I've walked through one of these market halls in Assassin's Creed Unity. So love
Yeah.
that.
So I don't have too much to say about it, but
Yeah.
I think it was cool. I would buy it if it comes out.
Okay.
I do think with this one, I am less confident that one would get approved.
So just from looking at past sets that have been chosen, do they say, or is there any notion that they say, all right, we want one $350 set, one
No,
$200?
they don't say that, but it just kind of seems like they do that.
Yeah.
I do have another one that we have to look at that I just linked.
Yeah.
We can talk about this one first, but
This one kind of cracked me up a little bit.
yeah, I was gonna say the M&R production set.
Only the best is good enough. Is that what their actual sign or original sign looked like? Or are they just
have no idea
literally
if that's what
making a
they're-
sign?
All I did was look at this and be like, this is a sign, and it's funny.
A 2-in-1, 718 pieces. There you go. This is the M&R sign. Someone should link this to him. I'll do it. I'll link it to him at some point.
Okay.
That's funny.
Do you think you'd buy it if they release this?
Probably just out of irony for him.
Yeah, you'd have to.
All right. Brickotomy, do you have any other? Or we can
Nope,
jump
just,
to the Seagull.
Yeah,
I
I'm getting
I
a
do have
little.
one last one to look at.
All right. Hit me
if
with
you
it.
Have any? You can go Brickotomy though if you have any others that you don't mind.
No, I'm getting a little pressed for time, so
Italian Street Corner.
we'll have to start narrowing it down.
Okay. Yeah, let's save this one for after. And okay. I'm looking at your comments, Squid Man. But I'm duly ignoring them. Okay, Delusion Brick, if you are still with us and you want to hop on and talk through your design a little bit, I can add you to our current call. Actually, how about this? I'll just add you, and if you want to join, hop in. So this one, of course, I imagine it scratches your fancy for the.
For me, yes, and for Brick by Brick, noticing he kind of likes this theme a little bit as well.
I wouldn't say
Hello?
I'm a huge fan of the theme. I just think that it's I do
Okay.
like this mission now. I think this is.
For me, it's the
think this-
theme.
I would say that I like this a lot more than the Imperial Fortress that's currently Eldorado Fortress that's currently on the market. I think this is a better.
Yeah. And of course, we currently have the designer of this set in the chat right now. You said hello, and I heard you. I know we're kind of in the middle of a sentence, but tell us a little bit about your thought process behind creating this set. We can go through the same kind of questions we went through before.
Hello to everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
I have an idea. It's an old idea I have on this.
Mhm.
It's I think it's an idea I have 3 years before, and it's reached 10K. Also, I redesigned it from the start, and the main reason I do that is because I believe on this idea, and also about the programming of this Bricklink. If this set it's pick up, the only thing I have I have inside as a question is what about the El Dorado Fortress? But if this set is pick up, it will be go out to the stores about 2025.
Oh,
And
okay.
2025, the El Dorado Fortress is really retired.
So it'll
It's a
still be
good,
able to
it's a
fit
good
that.
point. Yeah. No competition, but still fitting in the same theme. I would very happily have both.
Okay. So like you mentioned, you've had this project in your mind for over 3 or just about 3 years now at this point.
Not exactly. Not
Okay.
exactly. I built this, not this exactly, because I built it from the start because the restriction of the library, and I'm better than before 3 years as a designer. And the only thing is, I love the Imperial. It's the Imperial, the Pirate Imperial. It's my first Lego set I have. Was when I as a child, and my biggest dream is if I I have my own design Lego. I want to be an Imperial set, and I love the lighthouses also. And I update my old. If you go to my Lego idea profile, you will see the old one, the same set, but this is totally update. I rebuilt it from the start because I try to find how do with a base plate because they don't have the base plate with this color. And after that, it came the idea. It had the same idea of the of the El Dorado to separate the pieces, and you have 2 by 1 because, like, for example, the bridge it's split out, and after that it's a 2 balcony, and you have 2 different buildings.
So Brickotomy, I know you have to leave in a little bit, so I want to get all your thoughts. So kind of, just unload. I know you this is your bread and butter. So I want to give you the spotlight here to ask questions and such.
Similar to Delusion Brick, the Imperial sets were some of the first sets I had as a kid. So I have a real soft spot for this theme. And this does look very similar to, things that we're seeing in stores now, El Dorado Fortress. So this has that little bit of extra, for lack of a better word, has a little bit of extra love put into it that I can really tell that Delusion Break has put into this, where it's just it's more fleshed out, and it's more certainly more eye catching.
How tall is that? Are the 2 towers?
I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember.
If I had to guess, let's see if I can just do a little guesstimate.
Well, look. So judging by the minifigure, that's
like at least 15 inches tall.
Yeah.
Maybe even 17. So that's so I don't. Were you weren't here, Brickotomy, when we talked about the tailspin set? I don't think so.
When I had Delusion on,
and like that thing.
Okay.
That thing is wide. If you had the whole thing and just held it, like you're literally like carrying a whole expanse, and it's got a really great footprint. And I feel like this would be no different in that respect.
And having this set, it just fits in with the Barracuda base that I have. It fits in with a couple of the other pirate theme sets I have. And as I mentioned before, I plan to make a little landscape area for the pirate and Imperial theme as well. So I would love to have this in my collection. I think Delusion, you did a fantastic job designing this. It's exactly the kind of set I want to buy.
Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate.
Are you going to talk about the pretzels?
Yeah, I was zooming into the pretzels on the tower or on the lighthouse.
I like that technique a lot. That's pretty clever.
What
I
kind
ha-
of
I
led
have
you to
an
that one?
okay. I have this is idea is about I imagine because if you remember the restaurant, if I remember correct the name of the modular building restaurant, I don't remember well the name because I don't have modular building. Sorry about that. And I think they have something like something a white. I don't
Oh,
remember the
the
pieces.
Parisian restaurant with the white croissants.
Yes, the white croissant. Yes, yes, yes. And I put this pretzel in the top because I love the lighthouse and I want to do some special on it.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
And the other many people ask me why I put so yellow in this set. And my first because the old one, the first series of the pirate, the Imperial, they have a lot of yellow. The Dorado Fortress don't have that. And I try to modernize the old ones.
Interesting. Yeah, I kind of was wondering that myself, just because it seemed, and I think it's just about the same color as the minifigure, the minifigure heads and hands,
Yes,
and
it's like
It is.
like the old ones, like the old ones.
yeah, and so I kind of was wondering myself because it seemed a little bit too, I don't know, lack of a better word, a little cartoony for me. But I mean, harkening back to those original themes, like that's, I mean, people would eat this up, I feel. If it's chosen, I don't think it would have any any problem hitting the mark to be put into production.
I would certainly buy it.
But I definitely picked up on the fact that this looks a lot more like the original Pirate stuff than something like El Dorado even
Yeah.
Yep.
does. And I don't know.
Also the big door. If you see the big the gate, the
Mhm.
front gate have a lot of gold pieces.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Right
more
here.
Yeah.
more decorate, like gold chains, gold. Everything is gold
Mhm.
here.
And how modular, and maybe there's some pictures later on, but how modular is it in the respect that you can change the layout of these, maybe the lighthouse and the tower and the little front gate? Are those interchangeable?
No. The two pieces. If you change the if you find the photo of phase two, if you
Let's see.
go in the photo,
Where's phase two? Here we go. Attachable and detachable parts for phase two.
yes. So the modular you have the dock with a crane. If you go one more please photo.
Yep. And right there. Okay. Yeah, I see how it's laid out a little different.
Now the dock and the crane it connect with the building. But the lighthouse it's not connect because you are able to put everywhere like standalone
Mhm.
lighthouse.
Awesome.
This is and the one technique I love on this set. If you go to the balcony, the front balcony photo,
Where yeah, the it goes up and down the elevator system.
no, this is the difficulties. Believe me, I have a lot of hours how I fit that in this scale because it works. I have these pieces under of this. If you have a rope, because Lego they don't have the rope
Mm.
option to have it, but if you put a rope, it work with a rope.
So it looks like this little spinny Technic piece up here would connect the rope, and then you'd connect to the elevator to go up and down. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
So
It
they
work
don't
with
let
a
you use
finger.
any of the they don't let you use any
Sorry.
of the rope pieces in the as part of this. Those are none of those are on the like
The piece
parts
list, the part list.
Sorry, I don't hear you. Sorry.
They didn't. It looks like they didn't have the rope as part of the part list for the
Yes,
acceptable parts.
yes. They don't have the rope and they don't have the sails.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Because you
I'm
have.
kind
And
of surprised they don't. I'm kind of surprised they don't at least have the like string piece with the studs on both ends as an available part.
sorry,
I'm kind of surprised. You know, like the string piece that has a stud on either end.
I don't understand because I don't hear you. I have something on my ear. Sorry.
I think there's a string piece with studs on both ends. Are you familiar with that piece?
Yes, it have a strange piece.
Do
I
they
don't remember it.
do they let you use that one for this?
Yes.
Okay. Which I guess that
Also,
probably wouldn't work as well for the elevator, just because.
They do have a specific piece now for that like winch that has a stud on it that would allow you to use that other piece.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't know
also if you
exactly.
go, also if you go to the front balcony in the other photos, the technique I love.
You have to let me know which
No,
photo it is.
here.
Whoops.
Do you see here? Do you see the front balcony? Sorry. Here, the four green pieces. The four green pieces.
Oh yes, yep, I
Oh
Front.
see
yeah,
those.
yeah, I see them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is actually a hair pieces
Mm-hmm.
of
Ah,
the hair.
I was wondering if they were like what those exactly were. I thought maybe it was a food item or something.
No, it's a head pieces.
Hair pieces. Oh, that's so
Hair
cool.
pieces.
Are there any other, as I'm kind of scanning through now, looking with that perspective, are there any other pieces like that where you may have, besides that, and then the pretzels, any other unconventional pieces?
I don't remember. Really.
There you go.
The difficult technique I have also to the front dock of the wooden dock, the small with a crane, because I try to find the gap between of this thing to be working, because the gap it's a small gap. It's not an ordinary gap, but it's not an illegal technique. It's something more unique, but it's not illegal, because you must build with stability also. Guideline.
You know, that's really cool. It's because it's like at that perfect distance to where it's not a full stud length, but it gets enough
Yes.
to make it look like boards laying across on a deck or a dock.
Yep.
So what things are, or what requirements that are put on you by the Bricklink Designer program that maybe are not as apparent? So of course we know there's the part list that you're limited to. Are there other things? And then of course the part number that you're limited to. Are there any other things that you're limited to that
Yes.
maybe wouldn't be as apparent?
Yes. Actually, the first is the part, okay, the part number. The second, it is the illegal technique. They don't allow illegal technique at all. Also, and the third one is when you send the file. The file inside of the file, you must have built also the instructions, and the instruction it must be with it have a ridiculous they have very hard very restricted guidelines.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a whole different beast, having to actually build or create instructions for sets like this. Was that tough? Was that a struggle in and of itself?
It took me 7 days. 7 days, I think. 7, 8. I don't remember, 7 or 8. But a lot of hours of these days.
I can imagine that being very tedious.
Looks like we've got Mad Dad Bricks in the chat. Don't recognize you before. Thanks for stopping by, saying thanks so much for showcasing these designs. Absolutely. And if you're new or if you just hopped in, we actually are talking with the designer of the Seagull Bay Lighthouse Fortress. So of course it is a wonderful treat to have him on here talking through these with us. just in case you didn't know that, we've got the designer himself here. And if you rewatch this podcast, we actually have another designer that hopped in to talk about her design. So definitely don't want to miss out on that if you are just hopping in for the first time.
CPA, I'm gonna have to step away here in a second.
No, yeah,
But
absolutely.
Delusion, thank you so much for showcasing this a little bit for us. I really appreciate it. I hope to see this on the shelf at some point or in my house for
Yeah.
sure. Really appreciate it. Great talking with you. And the same goes
Thank
for
you.
you, Brick by Brick. It was great discussing with you, and I hope to talk to you guys again next time. Thanks for having me
Thank you
on.
very,
Definitely. Thanks
thank you
for
very
giving
much,
us your
Caleb.
thoughts, as we know you're the pirate guy. So certainly enjoy hearing your questions and thoughts.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Alrighty, have a good evening. Okay. So we're going to do that. Brick by Brick, do you have any questions or thoughts? Any other thoughts on this build here?
I do want to say that it's pretty awesome that you included the live action Sebastian from Little Mermaid movie. That is a funny Easter egg.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there he is, right there. Live action Sebastian.
Top tier minifigure inclusion. But no, I think that this is a really cool project, and I wish you luck. I hope it goes well. But I think all the questions that I have were basically addressed already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just hearing the design and the build process and all that stuff is always, I find that super fascinating, just because a lot of things that go into this are things that I wouldn't think of doing or think that would need to be addressed. So I always love hearing everything and hearing all the behind the scenes. I always love behind the scenes stuff.
I guess I got one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
At any point during the design process, was there ever a point where you were like targeting a smaller set, like using fewer parts? Because currently you're at like 3,600. Were you ever trying to make a smaller version of this?
I think my first attempt with this set, when I redesigned it, I tried to do it more smaller, and it is way difficult to do it.
I can imagine.
It's way I don't remember how many pieces have the original set.
Yeah.
when I designed it, but I think I have downgrade about pieces like 300, something like that.
Wow. So it would have put it around
But
32 or 3,300 pieces?
Yes, actually, yes.
Yeah, because that's something we've been talking about, just trying to figure out if builders are trying to, or designers are trying to hit, like we've talked, like Brick by Brick mentioned, hitting a specific piece count to maybe, because based on the past two series, it looks like Lego or Bricklink has chosen a decently wide range of pieces to probably have a decent range of price points. So if maybe designers are trying to hit a certain number of pieces to really limit themselves to a certain demographic, because obviously these pieces that are hitting 4,000 are just so detailed, so unique, so expansive as well. So you're really competing, in my mind, if you're hitting that 4,000, you're probably going to be competing with some top tier designers. And even this one crests 3,600, so it's a little smaller than those, but it's still kind of in that tier, in my opinion. So is that kind of how you're? It sounds like you were probably trying to hit around 3,200, and you just needed more.
Sorry, I don't listen very well. I have a problem with my connection tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was kind of going on a little bit of a spiel there with just wondering if you're trying to hit specific piece counts to work within a demographic of other contestants?
No, actually, no, because I have an idea, and always I try to put all detail I have in my head. So actually, because this is one of the biggest set of my ideas I have, actually from the start, I knew it. I have a lot of pieces to do it on this, because if you see, actually many things happen on this set, many things, and if you see, many things is movable, maybe it have a lot of playability. It's difficult to do it that with less pieces, with a small set.
So it sounds like your goal was basically to get the project that was in your head onto the screen, no matter how many parts it took.
I try to be not be very close to the limit of the guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course you could certainly go all out and do like a 5,000-6,000 piece build. So definitely at least getting in that 4,000 piece requirement.
4,000 pieces, I don't know, because I don't know, because when I see the video of the guidelines, they said they have a lot of submission with a big set, and you try to do it with a smaller. But I try to do it, but also I want to put this idea on the Bricklink, and I risk it about the pieces.
Yeah.
Because I believe it's a beautiful piece, and if I downgrade another, it's destroyed the design.
Yes. Yeah, it's
at the end.
Yeah, I can only imagine you have that image in your head, and you just you want to get that almost no matter what. Of course, within the intense restrictions, but certainly don't want to limit yourself just because maybe if you think you have a better shot at a 3,000 piece limit, but you're kind of shorting yourself in other respects, you probably don't want to go that route. And even as I've mentioned several times, where I don't like the open backs of buildings, I think here it actually works, because in the, whether it's Spanish or just that kind of island pirate or sea fortress, I think these open arches work really well here, because in my mind I could see that being a real thing. Of course they would probably have railings, but I could definitely seeing it being an open air atmosphere, which makes it work for me, actually.
Actually, when I design it, one of the corner, it's open. If you go to the left side, I think the left side, not the back. This is the back side. Right. I think right corner.
I think this might be is this the picture? It'll take a second to catch up.
Yes. Actually, I try to do it. I design with a balcony and inside the house, and under this room, the dungeon, I put rocks. But I deleted this idea because the number of pieces. I increase the number, and I don't like that.
Interesting. And Water Leaper, who I did a little investigating. It looks like you yourself actually have a submission as well, which we can talk about for a little bit. But Water Leaper says in the webinar for Series 3, in the submission guidelines at around the 9:51 minute mark, that around 2,500 is the part count or the part target, and that they need smaller models to be submitted because they have seen less smaller models. So it looks like 2,500 pieces is kind of the barrier between a large set or a small set, which is good to know for sure.
Things are looking good for the Chocolate Emporium.
Because what was that one at? Like,
It's like 2,600 or something like that. It was pretty close to 2,500.
let's see. And while we're kind of looking at or talking about some other stuff, Delusion, are there any other sets that you're kind of looking at the Bricklink Series 3 submissions that are kind of catching your eye?
I like the chocolate.
Yeah.
I like the lost city.
Mm-hmm.
I support on this.
Awesome.
On this set, I think one airplane. I try to remember how, because I put a lot of votes.
Mm-hmm.
I think one is the Red Farm, if I remember very well. I don't remember the name. I remember the set.
Is it Farm? So there's two. There's one. They're both called Farm Life.
I remember the farm.
Actually, was it the Farm Life with the big land base plate and the building, the house?
A red one, the big one.
Yeah.
The one that was just the barn.
Just the barn.
That's the barn. Okay.
Because there's two.
And
There's one with a barn and one with a barn and a house.
No, the barn, only the barn.
Okay.
And if I remember well, also the house of the lady you have before the interview, the blue one. I don't remember. I support also that. And I don't remember. I have couple old vote, but I don't remember now really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we've said, there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's gonna be tough. I can only imagine for them to limit these down to 5, because there are.
I think that any of the sets pushing 4,000 pieces are really going to struggle this round. I think.
Just because there's so many that are at that tier.
Yeah, I think there's only going to be one at that tier selected, and that's going to be a tough competition.
Yeah, which there are no limits on. In Delusion, you can speak to this. Are you allowed to submit if it doesn't win? You can submit it to a future series, Bricklink.
I think you have twice, only 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Only 2.
Yeah, you can submit it a second time, but if it's gone the second time, then you're
no
out of luck.
dice. Interesting. So that's a tough crowd for sure. 2 strikes and you're out. Okay.
Though I think they are trying to get most
also-
of these. Most of the ones that get rejected, they try to get to the whatever that new thing they're doing, the mock pop-up
yeah,
shop.
the mock pop-up shop. Yeah.
But sorry, Delusion, you can say what you're gonna say.
I have in my mind, because at the first I said one of my favorite is the pirate, and inside of the pirate is the imperial. The Bricklink Series 3 is the first Bricklink series who give you a soldier, a blue coat.
Oh yeah, that's
Before-
true.
Before on that, you don't have these minifigures.
So is that a situation where you already had this design in your mind and you saw that they allowed you to use those and you were like, yes, perfect
Yes,
storm.
actually.
I can make my full design here that I was intending.
Yes, actually, yes. And when library open, because I wonder if I have all these colors I have on my original set, and actually it have almost 90% of the same colors, and
Wow.
I said, okay, if I design it, it's like exactly the same the old one I have.
Wow.
It's like my own idea I have.
Sounds like it was meant to be almost.
Yes, actually, yes. It's like the moment. The library is the correct one. I don't know what happened after that, but
No, that's cool. It's perfect timing. And then so Water Leaper was in chat, and this is this individual's design called Triple Building Art Deco Noir City.
Oh, I did look at this one. I thought about putting it on there, but I thought it was too big.
which it's pushing 4,000
I,
pieces
li-
as well.
I like it. This I vote this, but I don't remember the name. As I like the technique. I have very clever technique.
I like that big building. See, and that's the thing with this whole, what I've been finding for this whole series here is there's just so much. There's so much that every set has to offer. So I do not envy the reviewers' task that they have ahead of them. It's going to be very, very tough. All right. Well, we're pushing 2.5 hours here, so I think we may start wrapping it up. If anyone has any further thoughts, anyone in chat, if you have any last things you want to say, because actually at this point next week, the voting will be closed. So all of you listening, if you're watching this on replay throughout the week, you will want to get your votes in now. And if you're watching this after the 20th, you will not have a chance to vote. So certainly want to get your votes in there, and make sure you support these amazing designers that are putting their heart and souls out here for us. This series, there will certainly be, I think there's going to be series 4 through 6.
I thought only 1 through 3 were confirmed.
What's that?
And then once, like, these are the only 3 for this year, and I believe once they
Correct.
start actually releasing the Series 1 ones, then they'll come back for Series 4, 5, and 6.
Yep, and that is correct. In 2024 January, we have Series 4. May is Series 5. September is Series 6. So this is the last series.
They did give us dates for these ones that I did not know about.
You're saying they did give us, or those dates?
Well, I didn't know that we had those months for 4, 5, and 6.
Yep. Which I imagine is going to follow the same-ish timeline as what we're seeing here today. Let's see. So we're chugging along. I'm sure those dates are going to come flying at us. And we currently actually, I know I've made videos on this in the past. Series 1 is going to open crowdfunding in February. Series 2 in June. Yep. And then Series 3 probably in September or next year sometime. So there is
Does
a
it have,
lot
if
coming.
you click the at the end of that timeline, if you click those arrows, will it show you approximate estimated date for?
Ooh, yeah. I probably should have thought about clicking those. So the crowdfunding is October, so a year away. Wow, that's fascinating. And Delusion actually did mention that it was going to be coming out in 2025. These ones, which is when, of course, El Dorado will be retiring or thereabouts. So, no, I'm so glad that I found out about the Bricklink Designer Program a year ago today. I had no idea it existed. So I'm certainly glad that I happened across this, as from an investment perspective, they're amazing. From a design perspective, they're also amazing. And do either of you ever think that Lego will market these at all, or they'll just keep it kind of underground?
I think they'll probably keep it kind of underground. I think the only reason that they're able to do this way is because the demand is not that high. I don't think they have the production capacity yet, at least. Maybe this will change after they open the Virginia factory. But I think and more factories around the world. But I think for now they're specifically limiting the quantity of these because they physically can't make more. And they don't really have to market them because they sell out regardless.
Would you agree with that, Delusion, or do you have any additional thoughts?
No. I agree. Have the same feelings.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, we are going to call it there for the weekend. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. If you are watching this, of course, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Leave a comment. If you're rewatching, let us know which one you voted for. As there's a lot of stuff out there. Like we've all said, I think we've all voted for multiple. So there are many options. I'd be surprised if anyone could walk through here and not find anything they didn't like, or any set or could not find a set that they do like. Yeah, that's the way I want to say it. So thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll see you next week on episode 12 of the CPA-fol podcast. And it's been a great stream. So won't have some news next week. We'll have some news in November as to which ones will be chosen, and that's going to be an awesome stream. I'm looking forward to that. So once again, thank you to Delusion Brick, thanks to Brick by Brick, thanks to Brickotomy, and MIRJAM for stopping by as well, and we'll see you all next week on the CPA-fol podcast.